Professor McGonagall. Harry had forgotten they still had detentions to do in the future, furor over the points they'd lost. He half expected Hermione to complain that this was a whole night of studying lost, but she didn't say a word. Like Harry, she felt they deserved what they got. At 11 o'clock that night, they said goodbye to Ron in the common room and went down to the entrance hall with Neville. Filch was already there, and so was Malfoy. Harry had also forgotten what Malfoy had gotten detention too. "Follow me," said Filch, lighting a lamp and leading them outside. "I bet you'll think twice about breaking a school rule again, won't you?" he said, leering at them. "Oh yes, hard work and pain are the best teachers, if you ask me. It's just a pity they let the old punishments die out. Hang you by the wrist from the ceiling for a few days. I've got the chains still in my office, keeping well oiled in case they're not ever needed. Right, off we go, and don't think of running off now. It'll be worse for you if you do." They marched across the dark grounds, Neville kept sniffing. Harry wondered what their punishment was going to be. It must be something really horrible, or Filch wouldn't be sounding so delighted. The moon was bright, but clouds were scudding across it, capturing them into darkness. Ahead, Harry could see the lighted windows of Hagrid's hut. Then they heard a distant snout. "Is that you, Filch? Hurry up! I want to get started." Harry's heart was. If they were going to be working with Hagrid, it wouldn't be so bad. His relief going to be work with Hagrid wouldn't be so bad. His relief must have showed his face. Because Filch said, "I suppose you think you'll be enjoying yourself with that off? Well, think again, boy. If it's into the forest you're going to, and I'm much mistaken, you'll all come out in one piece." At this, Neville let out a little moan, and Malfoy stopped dead in his tracks. "The forest," he repeated, and he didn't sound quiet, as cool as usual. "We can't go in there at night. There's all sorts of things in there. Werewolves, I heard." Neville catched the sleeves of Harry's robe and made a choking noise. "That's your problem, isn't it?" said Filch, his voice cracking with glee. "Sure throw of them werewolves before you got in trouble, shouldn't you?" Hagrid came striding toward them out of the dark, Fang at his heel. He was carrying his large crossbow, and a quiver of arrows hung over his shoulder. "About time," he said. I've been waiting for half an hour already." "All right, Harry, Hermione. I shouldn't be too friendly to them, Hagrid," said Filch coldly. "They're here to be punished after all." "That's why you're here. You're late, is it?" said Hagrid, frowning at Filch. "Been lectured, then, It's not your place to do that. You've done your bit. I'll talk over from here. I'll be back at dawn, said Filch. For what's left on them, he added nastily, and he turned and started back toward the castle, his lamp burning away in the darkness. Malfoy now turned to Hagrid. I'm not going in the forest, he said. Harry was pleased to hear the notes panic his voice. Yeah, or if you want to stay at Hogwarts, said Hagrid fiercely. You've done wrong, and now you've got to pay it. But this is servant stuff. It's not for students too. I thought we'd be copying lines or something. If my father knew I was doing this, he'd tell you that's how it is at Hogwarts, Hagrid growled. Copying lines? What's good that to anyone? You'll do summits usefully, or you'll get out. If you think your father rather you expected, then get back off to the class and pack. Go on. Malfoy didn't move. He looked at Harry furiously, but then dropped his gaze. Right then, said Hagrid. Now listen carefully, 'cause it's dangerous what we're going to do tonight, and I don't want no one taking risks. Follow me over here a moment. He led them to a very edge of the forest. Holding his lamp up high, he pointed down a narrow, winding earth tracks that disappeared into the thick black trees. A light breeze lifted their hair, and they looked into the forest. Look there, said Hagrid. See what's stuffing shining on the ground? Silvery stuff? That's unicorn blood. There's a unicorn in there, been hurt badly by summits. This is the second time in a week. I found one dead last Wednesday. We're gonna try and find the poor thing. We might have to put it out of its misery. And what if whatever hurts the unicorn finds us first, said Malfoy, unable to keep the fear out of his voice. There's nothing that lives in the forest that'll hurt you, is you're with me or Fang, said Hagrid, and keep through the path. Right now, we're gonna split into two parties and follow the trail in different directions. There's blood all over the places. I've must been strangling around since last night at least. I want Fang, said Malfoy quickly, looking at Fang's long teeth. All right, but I warn you, he's a coward, said Hagrid. So me, Harry, and Hermione'll go one way, and Draco, Neville, and Fang, you'll go the other. Now, if any of us find the unicorn, we'll send up green sparks, right? Get your wands out and practice now. That's it. And if anyone gets in trouble, send up red sparks, and we'll all come and find you. So be careful. Let's go. The forest was black in silence. A little way into it, they reached a fork in the earth path, and Harry, Hermione, and Hagrid took the left path with Malfoy, Neville, and Fang took the right. They walked in silence, their eyes on the ground. Every now And then a ray of moonlight through the branches above it lit a spot of silver-blue blood on the fallen leaves. Harry saw that Hagrid looked very worried. "Could a werewolf be killing the unicorns?" Harry asked. "Not fast enough," said Hagrid. "It's not easy to catch a unicorn. They're powerful magic creatures. I've never knew one to be hurt before." They walked past the three streams, and then there were still spots of unicorn blood here and there along the wide, winding path. "You all right, Hermione?" Hagrid whispered. "Don't worry, it can't be gone for if it's the badly hurts, and then we'll be able to get behind the tree." Hagrid seized Harry and Hermione and hoisted them off the path behind a towering oak. He pulled out an arrow and fitted it into his crossbows, raising it already to fire. The three of them listened. Something was slithering over the leaves nearby. It sounded like a cloak trailing along the ground. Hagrid had squinting up the dark path, but after a few seconds the sound faded away. "I knew it," he murmured. "There's something in here, and that shouldn't be." "A werewolf?" Harry suggested. "There wasn't no werewolves, and it wasn't no unicorn neither," said Hagrid grimly. "Right, follow me, but careful now." Hagrid grinned. They worked more slowly, ears straining from the faintest sound. They walked more slowly. Suddenly, in a clearing ahead, something definitely moved. "Who's that?" Hagrid called. "Show yourself! I'm armed!" And into the clearing came. What was it, a man or a horse? To the waist, a man with red hair and beard, but below that was a horse, gleaming chestnut body with a long reddish tail. Harry and Hermione's jaws dropped. "Oh, it's you, Ronan," said Hagrid in relief. "How are ya?" He walked forward and shook the Countess's hand. "Good evening to you, Hagrid," said Ronan. He had a deep, sorrowful voice. "Where are you going to shoot me?" "Can't be too careful, Ronan," said Hagrid, patting his crossbow. "There's something bad loose in the forest. This is Harry Potter and Hermione Granger, by the way, students up at the school. And this is Ronan. You two, he's a cancer." "We've noticed," said Hermione friendly. "Good evening," said Ronan's students, are you? And do you learn much up at the school?" A bit," said Hermione timidly. "A bit. Well, that's something," Ronan sighed. He flung back his hat and stared at the sky. "Moon's bright tonight." "Yeah," said Hagrid, glancing too. "Listen, I'm glad we've run into ya, Ronan, 'cause there's a unicorn been hurt. You've seen anything?"